Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, humankind of all kind, and welcome to episode number 2 of season 6 of Let's Talk Football, the Roundtable. Little Victor Borga there for you, for those of you old enough to remember that guy. I'd like to make the noises with his punctuation. I feel so old right now. Thank you for tuning in to this week's edition of the Roundtable. I am your moderator this evening, and some of you are saying he doesn't look like the other guy with the beard. That's because I'm not. Shouts out to our guy, Mr. Nicholas. I want to smoke Rosario in his absence this evening. Could not be with us. I am. Call me whatever you want. Just don't call me late for dinner. I am Anthony, and I am here tonight with my folks, my partners in crime. I'm gonna go right here. See, the weird thing about this is that I'm actually pointing right at my computer in order to point at Tina. So Tina, with Miss Tina, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing good, all things considered on what happened on Sunday, but we'll get into that later.
Oh dear Lord, I cannot wait.
Not as
Hey,
bad as mine.
and then down there, yes, indeed. Last but certainly not least, and she's got a whole lot of stuff to tell you, and she's gonna tell it to you and laugh. Even if she's mad at
Oh,
you, she will
even
laugh about it.
yes, even if
And
I'm
that is Miss
heartbroken.
Delilah Crespo. How you doing tonight,
Hey,
Delilah?
what's up, everybody? I'm glad we made it. We're sorry we hopped on a little late and not at our normal night, but we found time because we love hopping on as a crew and talking football. Nick is with us in spirits. Hey, Cubs made it to the playoffs. Woo! One of our teams does not suck in this city.
But
We made the playoffs. The only question is, do we have enough gas? That we
Lord,
can
I don't care. At
lead
least we
and
made
win the
it
division?
to.
I don't care. We're in
Listen,
the postseason.
thank you, one of our Chicago teams.
wow. Okay.
Anyway.
All righty then. Very excited. Hey, look, I can't say nothing because if the Braves make the playoffs, I might go back to church. I'm just saying.
It might take a miracle like that.
Oh man, seriously, like if I'm on my way to work tomorrow and I see the Red River standing up on both sides like the Red Sea and there's an old dude holding a stick, I'm going straight to church. I'm just calling work. Yeah, I'm going to Life Church. I'll be in late. Because the Braves is going to the playoffs and they might win the World Series. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we know that every game, you know that as with I can't do what Nick is saying. Let's just do the coin toss, shall we? You know what, Ben Cornett? Before we even get into our coin toss question, you can kiss my entire rump, sir. Doggone it! I didn't come here to be harassed. Anyway, good Lord.
Then why am I on the show?
I didn't wear my tight shirt tonight. Sorry. Anyway. Already, ladies and gentlemen, this show has gone completely off the rails, and we're not even 5 minutes in. Oh man, but let's get into our coin toss topics. Number one on the list, and I'm sure this one will make Tina cackle with girlish glee. The Kansas City Chiefs, the wonder kind of the NFL, wound up losing their third consecutive game to the EAGLES Bananas NAS Philadelphia Eagles, ladies and gentlemen. My God, I mean, you know, I don't. What do you say? What do you say to that? When you, it's almost like Georgia, Alabama. Both of them are great teams as of recently. Both of them are very good teams, but for some reason, the last few times these two teams have linked up, Philadelphia has found a way to get the better of the Chiefs. Final score 20-17. It's not like, I mean, even Patrick Mahomes was not impressive at all. 287 yards passing with one touchdown and a pickle. They looked really listless, and the Chiefs are now 0-2. This is a situation I don't think the Chiefs have found themselves in quite some time. Tina, I'm going to save you for last because I know you got a lot to say and you're holding in your laughter. So I'm going to hand this to Delilah. Delilah, what do you think What do you think is going on with the Chiefs this year, as far as just their very sluggish start to the season? You think they've been hanging out with Mr. Calvin Broadus, aka Snoop Dogg, before kickoff or something, or what's going on?
I think that they're letting too much of their off-field stuff interfield. To be honest, honestly, I do feel like it's a lot of the off-field drama. Who's a running back that they were wearing T-shirts for, and like, do you know what I mean? I feel that in years past, we've seen the drive in this team. Even when they were losing, right? Even when they were losing, we were like, oh, don't count them out, right? It's the Chiefs. Regardless of how we felt about the team, we do understand football. We could see, like, yeah, let's not count them out. Like, they could turn it around, right? We know Mahomes, who he is, the team, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel that in this case, the issue really is all the off-field stuff. Like, Kelsey's getting married. I honestly don't think he really cares about the team anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I know that sounds crazy. His like podcast with his brother is like through the roof. He's doing movies, right? Because he's, again, attached to a Hollywood. You know what I mean? Like, he's doing movies, and I just do not see the same drive.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I just do not see the hunger there that I've seen in this team in the years past. Like, I just don't see it, right? You know what I mean? I just don't see that anymore. I don't see that drive in Mahomes, which is shocking. And I think maybe he's just tired of the team. And like I said, I feel like that's really what it is. Andy Reid is great of a coach that we look at. Yeah, he's older. You know what I mean? I don't feel that drive anymore. That killer instinct of what we've seen when we counted them out. Do you remember when they went to the Super Bowl where they actually did win? Mm-hmm. Right? Like, and they were losing.
That seems like it's been as long as since when Terry Bradshaw was still playing.
Yeah,
I said that out loud, didn't I?
Oh my God, I know. But I do believe that's just not that team. Like, I just do not have that, like, oh man, they're really hungry for it. They really want to go out there and prove the haters wrong. And like, even when they had like what we thought would be a losing season, they turned it around and had that great run where they actually did beat the Eagles, right? When they got their Super Bowl win. But I do not see that in this team. I do not see that drive anymore. I do not see that killer instinct. They look tired. They look like apathetic, like they just don't care anymore. Do you know what I mean? That's what I feel. I just don't see it in them like I did in the past, like their Super Bowl runs where they really ran for it. You know what I mean?
It's God is another Rocky reference. It's kind of like Rocky 4.
Yeah,
where he's like, you don't got the eye of the tiger. No, Rocky 3, and he's like, you're going to Hollywood, Rock. You don't have the eye. You don't got the eye of the tiger no more. No, we don't, Ben. We've had enough. I'm not taking anything away from Taylor. She's a very talented young lady, but I think I had enough of Taylor Swift as a karaoke DJ. After I heard every woman in Northern Virginia come to the show and go and want to sing Teardrops on My Guitar, when we got a whole high energy show going, and I want to sing Julia. I can't sing it because we'll mess around and get a copyright hit, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're gonna pass this to you, Tina. Tina, I'm sure Tina's got a lot to say about this, because Tina has gone on record as probably the one of us that has the least love for Mr. What's his name again? What you call him, Tina? What is it you call him?
Kermit.
Oh man. Kermit the Frog. All right, let us have it.
I was just looking a few things up. One, everybody needs to remember that Rashid Rice is suspended for 6 weeks. Don't have your number one wide receiver. It's kind of hard. I'm looking to see who else is wide receiver. Xavier Worthy's now out. Juju Smith hasn't done shit in a long time.
Nope.
I have no idea who Hollywood Brown is anymore.
That's a shame. I got to.
Tyquan Thornton. Don't even know who that is. Jalen Royals. I mean, let's just. Patrick doesn't have his weapons he had. They
Wait a
always
minute. Did you
start
say?
out slow every year.
Did you say
What?
Tyquan Thornton?
Yeah, Tyquan Thornton.
That sounds like a character in a Tyler Perry movie.
Well, it sounds like somebody that would be playing with Kermit the Frog. So, I mean, they're all about the alliteration there. Is Tyreek Hill, Rashid
Right.
Rice, Xavier, this, all of that. Kelsey seemed to lost his mojo in a while. He looks like a Stepford husband right now versus what he looked like when he started playing. But they're 0-2, and they're in the bottom of the AFC West.
Oh man. Yes, they are. And
And
I
this is
do.
all I'm gonna have to say is if you haven't been watching the AFC West in the past, I think you should start watching it this year because it looks like almost every team is probably going to be pretty good, except for the Raiders, because Mr. Gino shit the bed on Sunday. Yes, Sean, that one was towards you. But yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I just think the Eagles have been able to figure them out. They've been able to figure out what Andy Reid's doing. They've been able to figure out how they've got a deep defense that's able to control a lot of that stuff. And that's what happens when you go and you pick up how many Georgia players?
All of them.
There you go. Like, if you're taking a team that played together in college and you're putting them in the pros and you're putting them all on the same line again,
That
Right.
you're going to be able to stop Mr. Mahomes.
and
I,
that guy. They got both of these guys.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it now because it's
right, for sure.
later in this year. Let's talk about it. But people also forget that there's a statistic out there that if you switch the scores of every game that the Chiefs won by one score or one touchdown, they'd be 5-12 versus 12-5.
Eesh.
Right,
That
right.
to me says what that team really was like last year. They got a lot of lucky breaks. Things went their way in a game, or they were able to find the way to win or way to pull it out in the
That's
end,
what I
et cetera,
mean.
et cetera.
Yeah. Like,
So, I mean,
yeah.
Kermit is going to Kermit.
It's not enough.
I think teams are finally figuring
Yeah.
them out. And we'll see what happens. See if anybody else besides the Eagles can do it.
Well,
Yeah.
Andy's definitely going to have to figure something out, or
the
like, you know what I
owner.
mean. It's
Yeah, GM.
one of the
somebody.
things about Belichick is Belichick was. Well, the question is, was it Belichick or was it Tom at this point? Because we see what happened after
I
Tom
think
left.
it proved that it was Tom.
But the point is that for
I
that period of time, regardless, wait,
Wow.
hold on, regardless of
We're going to go
who,
back to that comment, Delilah. Go ahead,
regardless,
Mandy.
regardless of who it was that was in charge of making the decisions, they were able to keep things fresh and keep people guessing. And when you thought they were going to pass, they'd run. And when you thought they were going to run, they'd pass. And you thought it was going to Gronk, and it would go to Edelman. And you know what I mean? One of the things about the Patriots was the Patriots were very successful at taking people that were either on other teams that had little accomplishment and get the best out of them, or even bringing a guy like a Randy in the twilight of his career, supposedly, and for him to shine as well. So, you know, I think he's going to have to figure something out.
I don't think I don't think it was just Tom. I think it was Tom and Belichick together. And anyone who says otherwise, let's go down. And this is the reason I have to say this is Belichick tried for the last 5 years he was on that team. He tried to get a replacement quarterback. Tom wanted nothing to do with it. And he was talking to the owner about it. It's all over the Boston press. It's all over everywhere. Tom did not want a replacement behind him. So he leaves because he doesn't have a good enough replacement behind him. He ran everybody out. ran out Garoppolo, he ran out Castle, he ran out all these, brought in these third and fourth string bench warmers who are horrible. He leaves, goes to Tampa, gets Gronkowski out of retirement, says, let's repeat this here, while he left the quarterback position in bleeping shambles because he would not let someone get trained underneath him.
But he won with the Bucks.
That's why I said Tampa Bay.
Yeah, that's what I
And
mean.
he
But I'm
brought his receiver with him out of retirement. The guy that had the safeties and the quarterbacks don't even come up to the guy's armpit. They got to climb him like a freaking monkey to bring him down. Like,
all I know.
I'm not saying Tom's bad.
No, I know you're not
saying that at all. I just think the people that are like, Tom proved it was him. It wasn't Belichick. I'm saying it's the two of them together. Then he took that system that he worked with Belichick for how many freaking years, took it to Tampa Bay and said, here's the map. Let's do this.
Yeah, I can see that. I just want to see
Belichick retired. The Bucks weren't that great anymore.
So, I don't know. They haven't had a losing season since, right? If I understand.
No, but correctly. They haven't sniffed the playoffs, let alone the Super Bowl like they did with Tom Brady. Tom Brady literally came in and said, this is what we're doing. This is how we're doing it. And luckily they had the personnel in Tampa to be able to do it. I'm not dissing on Tom. I'm not dissing on anyone.
No, I know.
Saying it was the two of them together.
Yeah. I guess we'll see if we could do that in North Carolina.
Built a shit pile back in the Patriots when he left because, again, he didn't let quarterbacks be trained under him. Him and Aaron Rodgers have the same problem when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Except Tom is a more winner than Aaron Rodgers.
Agreed. He's got the 6 rings. Not going to deny that. But the problem is he didn't want anybody there. And the owner let him do it. There's articles all over the Boston Globe when he was out there about the shit Tom pulled and what he did with the owner and all of that. So
I'm just saying, at least for the Patriots, as much as like, again, I'm not like the biggest fan of Tom, but I remember sitting in a bar in Chicago when it was Green Bay and Buccaneers, it was Tom Brady, and I said, "Don't give that man the ball back because you're gonna make a mistake." And they looked at me like I was crazy, right? Because the score was high, and I'm just like, I'm in a Green Bay bar, and I said, "Listen, this is just football. I'm telling you."
You might be triggering Handy about right now.
I was like, do not allow even 2 minutes of this man getting a football. Run the score.
The game ain't over with Tom Brady until it's 0-0 and they're a low number.
I was like, please do not clap, do not cheer. I'm telling you right now. And they looked at me like I was crazy. And what happened? He won the NFC conference and he went on to win the Super Bowl because I was like, what did I say? Listen, follow what the New York Giants did, right? Again, the New York Giants proved with Eli Manning, like you said, defense, right? We've talked about that. Mm-hmm. If you have a strong defense, like you said, the Eagles learned who the Chiefs are. Like the Giants learned who the Patriots were with Tom. That's exactly what we're saying. When you figure out your ultimate enemy, right, and how to pressure them.
Oh my God!
And how to make them
make mistakes. I just had a thought.
You know what I mean? That's how you win these football games, right? This is why the Chiefs are 0-2, and why right now against the Eagles they're 0-3, right? That's what we're saying. They're 0-3 against the Eagles. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I know we have other topics. I'm
gonna crack this little witticism, and then we're gonna move on to our next thing. Maybe just maybe Tom Brady's son made a couple of calls down to Austin, and made a couple of calls down to some of the opponents of the Longhorns, and that would explain why a certain college quarterback is struggling to be successful. I said that out loud, didn't I? I said it again. Moving
I love
on.
that clip of Peyton Manning going, he's
He's
adopted.
adopted. Yeah.
I love it.
I'm just saying, 10 interceptions. Oof. I mean, 10 incompletions consecutively. Oof. All right, moving on to our next subject. The news broke this week that Tyler Smith of the Dallas Cowboys
Let's go.
got a bag, as the young people in the street like to say. He is now skibbity riz, lottie dottie. We like to party, or whatever goes behind skibbity riz. And my question is, the thought that came to my mind was, we saw what happened with Micah during the offseason, leading into the preseason, all the way up to right before the regular season started, with the contract disputes back and forth, and they're not going to sign him, and the numbers aren't looking right. The thought crossed my mind that maybe, just maybe, somehow or another, because we know that there are very few things in the NFL that are a secret. Well, amongst the folks that either play or work in the offices, those of us that watch, we think we know, but we don't know. It just makes me ask the question, and Tina, I'm going to I'm going to pass this one to you. Do you think that there's a possibility that his camp got wind of this, and this played a part in why he said, I'm not putting foot on the field until I get my money? Like Chris Tucker said on Friday, I won, give me my money.
Could have. I mean, 100, it could have. We don't know why. Contract negotiations between him and Jerry and the Cowboys broke down a long time before that game happened, where he literally laid on the medical personnel's bench during the preseason. I mean, he was done. I mean, we don't know. I just looked at it. So he got 96 million. His average salary is going to be $24 million a year. He got a $16.2 million signing bonus. So by the time he's done, he will have earned the 96 million.
Right.
So is he in the same position as Micah was?
No, he's an offensive lineman, but it was a big contract for a big contract for an offensive lineman. So Micah,
But 24 million is about normal for Pro Bowl or good offensive linemen. So I mean,
and
to me,
81
that
points.
says to me,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. It's
go ahead.
81.2 of that is guaranteed.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's a high freaking percentage of almost 100 million. I mean, you're getting 80% of $100 million is essentially, that's a high percentage. And Micah, Micah wanted, that's all Micah wanted was, he wanted his money guaranteed. He wanted a max, and he wanted his guaranteed as well. And they hemmed and they hawed. And so now Micah is wearing, now Micah is a cheesehead. So there you have that. That was just a thought that crossed my mind.
Playoff caliber team versus the Cowboys. We don't know, and so for me, it sounds like the Cowboys more thought that the offensive line protecting Dak or whoever their next quarterback could be was more important than keeping the linchpin of their defense. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, as far
see how that plays out for them.
well, as far as your, like, there's like 3 or 4 major pieces of your team that you want to make sure that you got it. It's almost a guarantee you have to have. Your QB's got to be tight. Your edge rushers got to be tight. Your left tackle's got to be tight. And you got to make sure you got those 3 key pieces, because we've seen with Tom Brady, you can plug and play with your receivers. You can plug and play with your receivers, your running backs. It doesn't hurt to have a really nasty, sick DB back there, but they don't have to be Deion Sanders level. But you got them 3 pieces, you got a formula. So I mean, I get it, but at the same time, well, I guess we'll see how it all plays out. Although we'll get into that just a little bit later. Delilah, you got anything you want to put a little salt on the dish before we move into the break?
No, not really, because I think Tina hit the nail on the head. I feel like 2 different positions, but I get what you mean about the money. And maybe Micah was like, oh, you're going to give him money and not me money, right? Like, I could see that, because it's always a money game. At the end of the
I could see
day,
it more if they were both
yeah,
defensive guys. The fact that one is
but
offense and one was defense, to
yeah,
me, sounds
but
like they decided to prioritize something.
I
Yeah, well, Dak did. I'm not gonna lie, Dak did. We have seen in recent years where Dak, as the season wore on and the injuries started to take place, where Dak would get banged up a little bit,
Mhm.
or
yeah,
or at
and I
absolute worst, it seems that every other season one of his linemen gets pushed back
yeah.
into the pocket, and Dak winds up banging a
Yeah,
finger.
I just think Micah just wanted his bag and he didn't get it, and he was like, "Cool, I'll go to a team who will give me the money." Even though, like we've said on a few different things, like his family still lives in Dallas.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
he didn't. It's not like he moved from Texas, because no offense, sorry, Green Bears. There's nothing really up there to do. So, um, so he
Except
definitely
it's
just
not
wanted
a
to.
playoff caliber team
Except
now.
wa-
But,
except
but
watch
the,
the except
right,
for
but I
watch the
mean,
wait. Is there from what the conversation we had
yeah,
before the show? There's plenty to do if you like to ride the subway, but that's a different story.
that's a different state. But like,
Oh,
but
I thought
like,
you said Chicago. You did say
no, I said
Chicago.
Green Bay. No, I said
Oh,
Green
I
Bay
thought you
area.
said Chicago. My
No,
bad.
I said Green Bay. I said Green Bay. No, if he was just, if no, he would have a lot to do here. He would have moved his family here. But what I'm saying is, he picked a good team, and the team had the money for him. Like they
Yeah.
paid him a lot of money, and
They
so
had the salary cap.
so I hope I mean they're 2-0 right now. Obviously, right now, as we're saying, early in the season is paying off. But like, what do they do, next year or whatever? Because what most people were talking about is him changing the formula for his position. Because now the other like Miles Garrett is gonna be like, Cleveland, I'm out of here, right? Like we already know. I mean, I don't blame him, right? Because look what Cleveland is doing this year. And
Yeah, but
any
he
other,
said he said that last year. He was doggone near doing the same thing as Michael Parsons, and then
yeah,
they said, "Well, we got this money," and he was like, "Oh,
because
I didn't."
another team did not pay him what Green Bay did. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Like that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like it goes into what we talk about money, right? Salary caps and how it changes, and how like we always looked at the quarterback. It changed for them. It changed for wide receivers. Maybe now these defensive guys might have changed some of that formula too, right? Of like, give me the money. Like I'm getting the ball back for you. I'm giving you another chance,
Mhm.
right? Like the reason you got the ball back is because I went over there and I got that turnover. I sacked the quarterback and got you the ball back. You know what I mean? Like,
You know what
you know
though?
what I'm saying?
That you know what though? Now that I think about it, it's not that impressive because I can go get turnovers in a bag at Arby's too. Um,
Oh, stop
having
it.
said, having said that, that, ladies and gentlemen, is our coin toss. We're going to take a brief pause for the cause, and we will be right back with our apple ones too. The apple ones are delicious, but they never seem to have them when I get them on DoorDash. I always have to go pick them up. We'll be right back after this break.
Hey everyone, it's Tina, and welcome to the Mile High Minute.
Well, man, I'm the field. Oh, I thought it was the ugly. The bad.
You're the bad.
Oh, okay, kicking game.
You're ugly.
I'm talking about the ugly. And you know what's ugly? I'll tell you what's ugly. It's the calls for Vance Joseph being fired. John Payne put together a solid game plan. 2 weeks in a row. This is a big. But overall, I can't complain too much. We just need to be the Bills. This defense performed at an exceptional level against very good.
This was our third win in a row. Very happy. I'm just concerned about
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the affiliate shows of Let's Talk Football, Mile High Minute. You may have recognized one of the people in there. She put her hand on her neck and just kind of tossed her hair. I believe she's a Denver fan. Oh, there she is right there. Hi, Tina. Tina and her comrades are on Thursdays. Is that right?
Yes, Thursdays. We now go during the halftime of the Thursday night football game. So between 8:30 and 9 is usually when we're on. For those that we are playing the Chargers this week. So on Sunday, that's going to be a division game. It's going to be a big game. It's going to be a very, very big game. So
You said you're
um,
playing the Chargers?
we're playing the Chargers in San
Ah,
Diego.
Yeah.
and
So
Lad and my boy Lad might be out because he got a bicep something or other going on with his bicep.
please let Lad be out.
I
For those of you,
understand.
yeah,
Fucking
for the go ahead.
ah,
Yeah.
I
freaking
was just
Chargers.
yeah, I just saying that boy was severely underestimated. He was another one of those underestimated players that Kirby gave a chance at Georgia, and he turned out to be an absolute
He's a
monster.
baller. He's a
He is a
baller.
baller, baller,
Yeah.
baller. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to our next segment this is one that we started with last week that went over really well. It's normally the game singular of the week, but we were looking and there are several games this week that we kind of want to touch on that we I don't know what it is. For some reason, my mouth just does not want to work very well, but we gonna make it work because turnovers in a sack. The first game of the week that we're going to talk about here. Uh, first game of the week here we want to touch on is, oh man, the 0-2 Giants. Well, now 0-2 Giants take on the Dallas Cowboys um, in Arlington. Big shootout game. Big shootout game, high scoring game. Both teams between the two of them rack up 77 points, which is something kind of unheard of on the Giant side here as of late. And almost 900 yards of 800 yards of offense between the two. Not almost I'm mathing here. 800 yards of offense in the air by both Mr. Russell, Let's Ride Wilson, and Dak. We gonna get to the playoffs one day, Prescott. So I'm gonna go to Delilah. I'm gonna pass this one to you first. What do you got from this game? What were your takeaways from this game?
One, that going into week 2, Russell Wilson, gotta love this guy, is our one of the top passer ratings.
Oh yeah, 31
And top
30 or
QB
41.
going into no, and amongst the 2 weeks, he has like the most yardage. Like who? This football season, man, it's wild.
Who
I
I
don't.
tell you who Sierra. She said if you win more than 8 games this season, baby.
That's my girl. But anywho, no, but seriously, I want everybody to think about that going into the second week right now. We're looking at like top passer, like yards, blah blah blah. Russell Wilson is up there. You know what I mean? It's like wild times of football. But anyway, he had 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. He was 30 for 41. And Mr. Prescott had 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. So they were literally like the
neck and neck,
same,
pretty much.
almost exactly the same stats, which is crazy. That game is wild. What I'm trying to say, okay, as I look at the other 0-2 teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
New York actually looks really good. I'm just saying, like, if you look at the first 2 games, I know they're 0-2. I know it's crazy when you look at it, but I want everybody to look at what their first and second games have been. And I know that they're losses. I get, we'll be like, oh, they're 0-2. But I want you to look at what their stats were in the first week and the second week and what they lost by in each of those games. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I get it. I know it went to, it looks ugly, but I got to say, in general, of all the 0-2 teams, and that's including mine, for me, it looks like the New York Giants just need one thing and like they could have a good run. Statistically, we know 0-2 doesn't look good, but we have seen where people have had a good run, right, and actually made it to the playoffs. And as bad as I know that the Giants feel right now, at the same time, I just looking at the first 2 weeks, it's been by like a field goal or like do you know what I mean? They didn't lose by blowouts like we're used to in the last few seasons. Do you know what I mean? Like the Giants feel like a new atmosphere. You got, people catching. You got people like running the ball. You have a quarterback that right now, even though it was a loss, over the last 2 weeks is one of the highest, with the passing yards in the NFL right now and going into week 3.
Yeah, he's at over 600 yards so far.
That's what I'm saying. So like, the Giants look good. I mean, I feel like the Cowboys got one from the football gods. I don't know. I feel like I think the Giants should feel good about themselves, even though they're 0-2 out of all the other 0-2 teams. I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense, but it's because I was looking at the stats, like just the numbers, and even though they're 0-2, what the first game and the second game came down to. You know what I mean? And so, like, if I feel like the Giants just need like something. Do you know what I mean? Just one little thing, and all of a sudden they could go on a run. I feel like
they could, but I'm just gonna throw this out here as food for thought. I'm not gonna say no. I'm just gonna say
I'm a no.
Let me just throw this out here. We know that is Brian Dabble still there?
Yes.
He's still there. So it wasn't just but a couple of seasons ago where they were having that great run and we were, singing the praises of Brian Dabble. Do you think that they maybe just become more streaky here lately? Because, he did have that one really good season, got himself a contract extension. And now, well, they looked good in a loss yesterday. Did
they look good, or were both their defenses so bad they couldn't stop the quarterbacks or the offense?
I was gonna let you do the Tina
That's
thing.
my point.
I was gonna let you do the Tina thing in a minute. I was gonna hand it off to you, but you go ahead.
I think that game was all about how bad their defense was. Their defenses could not stop the other team. And I've seen Russell have games like this, and the next week he shits the bed. So, and also, I mean, they lost by 15 points to the Commanders.
Yeah, and they got the Chiefs and the Chargers in that order.
And they're hitting the rest of their schedule. And could they? Yes. I think the Cowboys game is an outlier game, is more of what I think that shows you. If Micah Parsons was on the Cowboys, that game would have been different.
Defense
wins games.
Food for thought, because looking at the schedule here, next up they've got the Chiefs, and the Chiefs are now on Revenge Tour 2025. They've got the
Chiefs
Chargers.
Are better than the Giants.
Right. They've got the Chargers after that. The Chargers are better than the Giants. The Giants and the Saints might be evenly matched up. That might be one worth watching just for the sake of the competitiveness of the game. Then they play the Eagles, the Broncos, the Eagles, the 49ers, who beaten and banged up probably still can beat the Giants. And then they play your Bears, Delilah. So that's their next. That's their next. Like those are their next 8 games.
We suck, so we'll be fine.
So I'm just looking at this. Out of these 8 games, I'm looking at loss, potential win, and then the third one's a toss up. So I'm looking at them probably the next 8 games being either 2-6 or 3-5. And that's just being realistic. But nonetheless, Dak Prescott, the Cowboys fans are saying we're going all the way. Dak led a winning drive to win in overtime. Yeah, Dak led a winning drive to beat a team in overtime that he should have been able to beat during regulation. And that's all I got to say about that. We're gonna move on to the next our second game of the week. And this one was not without it's a little bit of theater as well. The Jacksonville Jaguars play it pretty tight with the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, of course, we know that Trevor Lawrence left the game. He left pretty early in the game, did he not? Because he only wound up throwing. He only wound up throwing 13 passes for 76 yards. And knowing how Cincinnati's offense is, that could easily be the first two drives. But he's out with turf toe. We'll get more in that later. But story of the game: backup Jake Browning coming in and throwing for 241 yards. Granted, he threw 3 interceptions, but he threw for 241 yards and 2 touchdowns, leading the Bengals to a win, capping it off with a 1-yard touchdown run with 18 seconds left on the clock. So we're going to start this one with Miss Tina. Tina,
My thoughts?
Do the Tina thing.
My thought is the Jaguars hadn't planned for Jake Browning. And when you have somebody that comes in like that, where you're planning on having Joe Burrow and you know what he's going to do with their offense, having another guy come in, even though they still have Jamar Chase and they have the other one is slipping my mind right now. The other wide receiver for the Bengals. Having those two guys there, like Jake Browning he stepped up to the plate. He dragged them into a win, is how I'll put it, because if Trevor Lawrence isn't playing for the Jags.
Yeah, it is T. Higgins.
If Trevor Lawrence is playing for anybody but the Jags, he's having a grand old time.
Yeah. But the Jags just aren't that good if he's not playing. So
Poor Trevor.
Well, I've already said I've been saying for 2 seasons now, their owner, he's funneling his money through. I don't mean not for any illegal purposes. I just want to make sure I make that clear. But this is where he makes his fun money, because it's an NFL franchise and it's going to make money anyway because of revenue sharing.
Right.
And this is where I'm going to say he cannot funnel his soccer money or football, if you're from Europe, into the team. But yes, it's fun money. Shaw is just NFL teams make money, and the Jacksonville Jaguars are gonna make money in that area, because you got Jacksonville and you got Miami, and fans of those two teams are never gonna cross over. They're just 2 different parts of the state. 2 different parts of the
You're just ignoring Tampa.
Yeah. Well,
if they didn't steal Al Davis's idea and call themselves the Buccaneers, would they even be any good? They'd still be in those candy crap creamsicle uniforms they had, with a pirate with a knife in his mouth. And I hate giving props to Raiders.
Tina.
Let's be honest about this.
Tina came with the fully loaded clip.
Are so striking, but they made enough changes that Al Davis lost his lawsuit. So
right.
Tina Winter, she comes with a loaded clip. That would be like your slogan. If you had a tagline, it'd be like Tina Winter, she comes with a loaded clip.
Woo! That's funny.
Oh,
it's good.
Now my friend Gavin's wife would totally kill me if she saw that clip, because she's from Tampa Bay. But yeah.
Whoops.
But like in Florida, of those teams, none of them. It's not like if you're from Tampa, you're like, Miami's not bad.
Jacksonville is far. Yeah, I don't think people realize like how far away Jacksonville
is. Georgia.
Yeah,
let's be
no.
honest.
No,
Alabama.
Yes, it is.
Tina.
Yes, it is.
Alabama.
Baby.
Tina, I'm gonna stop you right
Yes,
there.
it is. Yes,
I'm gonna
it is.
stop you right there because you know
You
what
can
college
laugh.
team plays in Jacksonville, and they are damn sure not Georgia by any sight. That
I
is
meant
Georgia. Jacksonville is
area,
not Georgia.
not the college football teams, but they're as close to Georgia or Alabama as you can
They
get and
really are.
still
They
be in
really,
Florida.
they really are. I don't think
Okay.
I don't think people realize like how long of a state Florida is. I think when they think
Oh
obviously
God,
it's
yeah,
crazy. You know what I mean?
It
I
takes
think
like
when
yeah,
they
it
think
is. It is.
7
It
hours
is.
to get from Tampa Bay up to Jacksonville.
yeah,
So like
I
it's
don't
not
think yeah. I
Yeah,
agree.
it's.
Yeah.
I drove when I got my orders to go to San Antonio for training for TDY training.
God.
I
I know.
drove from Georgia, from my house. It was 2 hours to Jacksonville, and then I got on I-10, and it had to have taken me, good gravy, at least 4 hours to drive across the Panhandle.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Yeah.
It was like 4 hours to drive across the Panhandle. Then it was like Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, and then it was like Texas.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Exactly.
I drove. Aside from gas and bathroom, I didn't stop until I got to. I thought I was coming up on San Antonio. I actually was, I think, passing the exit for
Right.
Houston, and I just got a hotel and slept for 3 hours. But yeah,
Yeah.
that northern panhandle is long as hell. And I'm just
Yeah.
going to say again for the record, Jacksonville, not Georgia. Okay.
I'm just saying, look at the state lines. It's like, I know. I know.
Hey Tina, what's that thing Nick does when
This
what's
is
that
turn me
thing
off.
Nick does? Yeah, I don't know how to I don't know how to turn your camera off.
Nick, when you watch this, don't teach him how to do that.
Oh man, listen, look, but I get what Tina's saying.
Oh,
Oh no, something happened to Delilah's microphone. I'm sorry, you were saying?
No, I know. I'm sorry. No, I get it though. When we think of Florida, we only think of like Miami, Orlando, right? And like we forget.
And a giant mouse.
yeah. I mean, essentially, Florida is Orlando.
So
I mean,
yeah, and so I feel like
or
I don't.
Sarasota.
Yeah, and so I feel like if you look at a map of the US and you look at Florida, then you'll realize like how far Jacksonville really is from the rest of it. You know what I mean? And how isolated it is and like where it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I get why people are like, when you look at the Florida teams, it's like, well, there's professional teams. I know there's way more college teams. I'm not saying that. I'm saying professional teams. There's 3 in that state.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So not only did you guys come today and to hear football commentary, you also got a geography lesson. I'm just saying one more time. Hold on a minute. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna give y'all a close-up camera just so you can get this. Hold on a second. I have to. Where is it? It's right there. Jacksonville, not Georgia.
Georgia, Alabama.
Thank you for coming. Oh, watch your mouth. Oh.
Oh no!
What did old boy say in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom? You dare not do that. I can't believe I just remembered that line off the top of my head.
You're in Oklahoma. You can't do anything to me.
This show. We're off the rails, guys.
Moving along, the Denver Broncos. Oh, perfect segue. The Denver Broncos went out to Indianapolis. Tina, what was the final score?
29-28.
Okay. Wait a minute. Hold on. Did anybody catch the Atlanta score? Did Atlanta win? Okay. Tell us about the Denver game, Tina.
What are you gloating about the fact that our team's lost and your team finally won?
No, I'm coming for you because you talk about I can't do nothing to you. Just got a long distance burn over the internet.
Yeah.
You know he cares about college more than the
Oh, I know. That's why I keep saying Georgia and Alabama are the same.
I know. I know why you did.
You know, at some point I'm going to come to Chicago, right? And we will be in close proximity.
And I'll still say it to your face.
Nah.
Okay. All right. Challenge accepted. All right. So,
Okay.
but
Seriousness.
another. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Daniel Jones had the game of his life. Indy played balls out. They had the right. I don't know what happened with our defense. I don't know why they were playing the way they were playing. It seemed like a lot of man coverage, which when you do that, you have somebody open. Jonathan Taylor's good. He busted open for a few runs. And Tyler Warren, we as a team cannot seem to stop tight ends. We have a hard time with tight ends. Tyler Warren had a great game. I will say one thing. I do think that leverage call was a piece of shit.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. That was garbage.
It was a garbage call. 100% garbage call. As a matter of fact, he did the exact same thing when they went for the second kick, and that wasn't called for leverage. So all I have to say is if that's the way you guys are going to call that from now on, I better see other people get called for it too. Because, I mean, yes, it's the rule. Yes, the rule does say you cannot touch the opposing player when you're going over in order to try and stop the kick. I am not denying that it was there. The question that becomes is subjective. One guy won't call that because he barely touched somebody as he's going over, and another guy is going to require that you literally have to push yourself over. I mean, I just thought it was a ticky-tacky little call. Now, that being said, we needed to play a better game. Our middle linebackers just could not stop the run up the middle. So it came down to not making a field, doinking it off the side, and it never should come down to hoping the other team changes it.
Oh, wow. You mean to tell me that the Falcons got rid of Young Winku and the spirit of bad field goals came your way?
Yep.
That sucks. I'm sorry.
Well, there's a lot of people in Denver fandom want him gone, but Mr. Payton brought him over. So,
and Peyton Manning is God, and Peyton Manning is God in Denver. So
yeah, well, there's also my friend Steve and a lot of us in Chicago Bronco Nation really do think there's a curse. Whenever Denver plays in Indy, we lose. It started back when Peyton Manning was there, and it's continued now through then. So here's
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah, what were you going to ask?
I was going to say, is that kind of like the thing with Babe Ruth in Boston and New York?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's unofficial. It's just our group, but since Peyton's been there, every time we go to Indy, we lose. So, but here's the thing. With how well he played in Indy, did the Giants make a mistake in getting rid of Daniel Jones?
Oh, yes and no. Yes, in that
or was it their defense that was the problem the second year?
I was gonna say yes, in that he was more talented. Obviously, he's more talented than he was given credit for.
Yeah.
But
he was effective. They have not punted in 2 games.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been showing out in Indy. Now, granted, it's 2 games.
Yeah.
There are 15. What's that?
No, I agree. It's two
Oh, I
games.
thought
It's
I thought you said
Yeah.
it was. I thought you said it was 3. I was like, it says 2-0
No,
right
I
here.
said I
no, it's 2
agree.
games.
It's been two
Yeah, I
games.
mean, it's been 2 games. They got 15 more left to play in the regular season, but so far what I have seen has far exceeded just about anything he did while he was in New York. I don't know what. Anyway, we could argue and debate
It's
that
not,
until the
you
cows come
know,
home. So
I don't think it's about debating. I feel like we've seen it in football. Sometimes a player needs a change, like just a
that
different
part,
team. And
that's
so,
exactly where I was going.
and for some reason, they just, and I agree. We know that New York was super about. We saw all the jokes and the memes of the son telling his father how to run the team. Like we saw it all, right? And so sometimes you need a fresh start. And Indy being where it is, because I don't think people realize, like, yeah, Indianapolis is a major city, but I don't think you understand where it is in the Midwest. And so, like, it's like a small, it's weird. It's like a small town city feel. You know what I mean? It's just one of those places. And so I feel like maybe that was just a good place for him to land with the right people, right? Even though Jonathan Taylor didn't have like the explosive game we're used to the second game, he had a great first game, right? And so when you have like talent, and we know that the Colts had talent, they just didn't have the right quarterback, right? We know that. And now they have
Hmm.
Danny Dimes, who we knew, even as dysfunctional as New York was, he was pretty solid for them too, right? We know, we saw like sparks of like what he could do. And I feel he just landed in the right place, and just with the right coaching staff. Like we talked about that multiple times, how sometimes you just land in a place where you're supposed to be and it just kind of clicks. And I
Hmm.
feel like that's what happened for him. I feel like, I'm not saying he's going to be like an elite quarterback, right? But it works for where he is right now. And who knows? I'm excited to see what Indy could do, like, and what Danny Dimes can do there, right, with the team. It'll be kind of cool to see like them make a run again, um,
Which they
and see
can
if they can
do in
turn it
their
around.
division because their
Exactly. Yeah,
division
they
isn't
sure
the
can.
greatest.
Exactly. They
Yeah.
really can. Yeah, for sure. And so it's for him to prove the haters wrong, right? We talk about that. Like it's his time to prove the haters wrong, and that he can play ball. And that, like as Tina was saying, it was New York, right? They were the dysfunction, not him. you know.
Well, I
Yeah.
think also
Well,
like New York needed him to be like
Yeah.
the balls out, Trevor Lawrence, throw it 60 yards to
Right.
the
And that's
wide
not who he
receiver.
is.
And
Exactly.
he's more of a game manager like Brock
Yeah.
Purdy. And
Exactly.
that's what he did in that game is it was
Yeah, he
management.
did.
It
Hmm.
literally was getting the ball to the right people at the right time and short
Yeah,
throws and moving the chains. And
well,
so,
I agree.
I mean, I there was a lot. There's a few thoughts, and for those that want to,
Hmm.
all of those thoughts, all of what was wrong with that game will be discussed on Mile High Minute tomorrow.
Yeah, I gotcha.
I
But
well, I
Hey, so for
also
the show.
yeah,
well
I don't want to take it over with my discussion on everything that I think
Yeah,
was wrong with that with game. But I will say
yeah.
this, and this is no rip towards you and Nick, Delilah. I'd rather lose by one than lose by a lot because
I agree
one means
wholeheartedly.
it was close. It was a good game. And I don't know what happened with you guys. I
Our
just
curse. Our
I don't
curse.
think you're cursed. I think you guys got a young offensive line or a new offensive line that needs to learn how to work with each other better. And
Mm.
you ran into Detroit. Detroit was pissed from the week before.
yeah,
So
I and well then to add to that with Mr. Jones, he's now playing in a different conference. They
Hmm.
have not. I mean, he's playing against 3 different teams that have not seen him play. Like you,
True.
one thing
Yeah,
you're gonna
yeah.
do, you're gonna game plan week to week for who you face, but you
Right.
already kind of sort of have an idea of what you're going to get out of your conference opponents, especially if you've been with your team for a while and they've been with their team for a while. He's facing a new
Right,
set of
right.
conference opponents. He's in a new location with a fresh start and a little bit more money. and he's trying to make the most out of this opportunity because who knows, depending on where they finish at the end of this season, they may go out and get there's a few studs coming out in the draft this year. Or next spring, there's a few studs coming out. Indy might get another one, but he still wants to be also a viable quarterback, put out his best body of work so he can either stay on that roster under that contract or get a contract to go someplace else. So there you have that. But I mean, he's not going anywhere, at least for a couple of seasons where he's at right now. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, our games of the week. We're going to take another short break. For those of you just joining us, welcome to Let's Talk Football, the Roundtable. Dinklage, Tina, and Delilah. And I forgot the funny joke I made earlier that made Delilah laugh. I was going to do it again, and now I can't remember it. So I'm just going to find the damn break video and play it. Y'all stay tight. We'll be right back. From the same people that brought you Let's Talk Football, the Roundtable, we now have the Roundtable Movie Podcast. Look at these people dramatically pop up on the screen. And we are back. Did one of y'all sneak that voiceover on that promo? I don't remember that when we played it last time.
I don't remember that either.
I'm messing with you. I turned my microphone on.
Oh, I was like, what? I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh man, we are back. We're in the final segment of this show. And we try to do a little something different with our final segment. We try and make it a little light, or it could be thought provoking or whatever. And so this is what we come up with. Tina, you're gonna have to help me remember the wording of it, but essentially it is, what is your? I got it. Doggone it, man. You know what? I really need to take my Prevagen more often because sometimes I'll forget.
Oh, no, wait, before we do this, we were supposed to cry about our teams. And so I just want to be
gotta let Delilah have her.
I just want to be like, here we go again. Last season, when you were like, oh, do you have something to look forward to, Delilah? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I've been set up for this before. And everybody kept like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. You got Ben Johnson is like guru and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I don't know. I've felt this before where people told me, this is your guy. This is your time. And I'm like, I don't know. I felt this before. And so I was always very leery about this season. And every time people are like, oh, you won all these preseason games. And I'm like, they don't matter. That's how you cut down your team. So like, tell me during the regular season, here we are. 0-2. And here I go again. And this is my team, so it's gonna be my time with the brown paper bag, like Candy did a couple years ago on the show.
Last season.
It felt like 2 years ago, Lord. Anyhow, it'll be me. Bears fans are gonna be wearing the brown paper bags this year because my God.
Can I help? Why don't you still make it team-oriented and do like Jim McMahon, since they just honored the 85 Bears, and wear it on a headband?
Oh, Lord. You know what? I'll even look at my the 2006 Bears that actually had a Super Bowl run.
That was a rough one.
Regardless, we made playoffs. We made it to the Super Bowl, even though I lost to Mr. Peyton Manning. But at the same time, that team was fantastic, and people forget about them because of 85, you know what I mean? But anyways, Here we go again, Bears fans.
Yeah,
Another
your
year.
schedules. Eeh.
And the teams are playing. Exactly. It is going to be brutal. So I'm just,
Flood
you
We
of
get
know,
the Cowboys
fatality.
next week, which again they don't
yeah,
have a defense, so
rough,
maybe.
rough, rough season. Anyway, but here we go again. And I know what everybody's telling me. They're young, da 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 da. Fine. But we still have to drag ourselves along through this bloody, awful season. And like, ugh, we got every week we got to sit through this. So, not looking forward to that. Not looking to rays of hope to be dashed completely. Because even for a split second, like maybe like I don't know, a minute, that game looked pretty good, and then it was like. It was just like,
Why don't we talk to the coach and get DJ Moore some more touchdown passes?
I don't, man.
Doomsday needs to lay off the touchdowns.
And he's got two. My boy got two.
I know.
You know.
I know, and I have DJ on my fantasy team. It's like, come on.
Yeah. Oh, you know.
What do
Oh,
you
my. The bright side is that on my fantasy team, Goff is my quarterback, so my team lost. But because Goff had 5 touchdowns, you know, I slaughtered the other, you know, my opponent, my app, as the kids say. Yeah. I slaughtered my app. You know. I mean, anyway.
Do you also think because Dan Campbell knows how Ben Johnson would coach that he was able to scheme for it?
It's just it's the number.
Scheme,
honestly.
plot.
I would have understood.
What a relief it is.
Do you know what I mean? Like I would have understood, you know, 21-27, which is where we were for a little while. You know what I mean? Like that's where we'd be. But
you guys were in the game there for a while.
For Pete's sake, 50. No.
He 100% ran the score up.
Yeah. So it's like, nah, man. Like for Pete's sake. Anyway, I know this is not. I know everybody's like rebuilding. You're gonna. Yeah, I get it. But here we go.
It's rough. I'm not gonna lie. It is rough.
So anyway, I know. I get it. I know analysts like, is it rebuilding, new team, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but I got to sit through this week after week.
And it's hard after a loss like that.
Anyway.
When Miami came in and beat us by 52 points, yeah, you
That's rough.
Like, paper bag doesn't even begin to.
Yeah, it's like, anyway.
Like, yeah.
But you know what, Handy? Your team won, so at least you know one of us had a bright spot last week.
I mean, there was a bright spot, but I'm not gonna.
No. Okay. Anyway, but you know what? Good job, Falcons. You got one.
The thing also, it's the second week, Delilah. There's a lot of football to be
yes, but I'm gonna say this about Atlanta, and then I'm gonna, Tina. I'm gonna let Tina do her thing. The thing that impressed me most about that game was 2 things. Bijan Robinson, my God, he looked like the kid that he looked like the kid that we drafted from Texas. The reason that we drafted him. I mean, I think he had like 160 some odd yards.
I do like Bijan. I do. I like
that. Number 1. Number 2, the fact that Atlanta was able to beat the Vikings at their home stadium, kicking field goals, and didn't have to score a touchdown. They just decided to put one on the books just to make it look good. But did you hear how I said they beat them? Are you listening? Are you listening? Are you listening, Young Way? They beat them kicking field goals. That's all I got to say about that. Tina, it's your turn.
Well, the one good bright side, and yeah, it is just the second week, is Bo Nix showed up in this game. He had 111.3 passer rating. He had over 206 yards. The offense looked legit. It was like they switched. The week before the offense wasn't that great, but the defense was on fire. Again, playing the Titans. This week it was opposite. So the game on Sunday is going to be interesting because it's a conference game, and so and the Chargers are good, and they usually play us very well at home. So I'm preparing myself for another. Oops. All that chat is Chewy laying on the keyboard. Everyone say hi to my
Yay!
nice
Bright
big
side, bright
Ladies and
side.
gentlemen, our
bright side of my life.
our unofficial show mascot Chewy stopped by to say hello. But Chewy was
For all of those that are questioning,
that was Chewy
yes,
that he
he
wasn't
is as
far
big
off the
as a
mark.
small dog.
And he wasn't very far off the mark. But that does it for the team talk segment. And so now we get to our final question of the evening. What, ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching the show, please feel free to answer in the comments. If you're watching live, thank you so very much for checking us out. If you're catching the replay, thank you also. Please leave us a comment and let us know you were here. And if you really like what you see, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. We'd love that. And that way you'll get a notification each and every time this show is live and posts new material. But our favorite, but I got ahead of myself. Our final question for the evening is: what is your favorite rainy day movie? Delilah, we're coming back around to you.
I can't say a specific title, but usually when it's like a rainy day and I'm cozy with tea or coffee, you know what I mean? I'm settling in. I like going to nostalgia. And so like, I might watch like an old rom-com, like Practical Magic, because it's the right season for it. Spooky season, even if Anthony doesn't agree. But I will cozy in, with some Practical Magic or just a 90s or 80s rom-com. And if not that, I like a good cry. So I'll watch something like Beaches, the original.
Oh man.
I know something about a rainy day. I like a good cry. It's just one of those like releases, and so I'll watch something like Beaches or Steel Magnolias and just be like, "All right, he's my crying session today."
Well, the thing about the movie Beaches was I'd wanted to see it when it was out in theaters, but I didn't. So my freshman year, as you know, I went to attend that school or that school. And I went to attend that school.
Yeah.
And by the end of my freshman year, I had my first girlfriend, and she wanted to go see they had a movie theater up the hill 2 miles off campus that had 99-cent movies on the weekends. No, it was on Tuesday nights, 99-cent Tuesdays. Can you imagine that? Aren't movies like $37 a pop now?
That's just for the movie. That's not even like $100.
That's not that. And $50 for the masseuse and the layout chairs and all that stuff. 99-cent Tuesday movies, and we went to go see Beaches. Yeah. And I already was a Bette Midler fan, like Beast of Burden, The Rose, and all that stuff. But Barbara Hershey. For those of you, if any of you have ever at any time watched Big Bang Theory,
yes,
this was Mayim Bialik's movie debut, if I'm not mistaken, because she played the young Bette Midler.
Fabulous.
That movie was so good, and it was the first
perfectly cast.
It was the first real date with the girlfriend, and her best friend came. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the movie, both of my shoulders were soaked because they were just laying on me, just boohoo crying. But it's a great movie. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to steal it thunder, but Beaches was a great movie.
You didn't. But that's what I mean. So either I will do a melodrama like that or a rom-com. Like that's just kind of what I do on a rainy day because it helps me just like chill, settle in. That's what I do. I can't pick one. Sorry, more genre.
Well, thank you, Miss Delilah. Beaches was a great movie. If you have never seen it, for those of you that do like a movie that will get you right in the feels, you gotta give a little,
Yes.
take a
Was this
little.
yes, was it Stooge? Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
Scrooge Niagara Falls.
Let your poor heart breathe a little. I
Anyway,
still remember that song, and I've only seen that movie one time.
classic.
Tina, coming to you.
My go-to is Lord of the Rings, the extended versions. And I usually start with Two Towers through the end of it. And
Nice.
then to me, Fellowship of the Ring, very good movie, but it's the setup.
It
To
is.
me, as someone who's read the books a couple of times, I usually
Yeah.
read the books once a year.
Mm,
Um, Two Towers and the Lord of the Rings, the end version of it are my favorites. But
they're
that's
good.
usually where I go. Or if I'm not in the mood for a movie, I will go for a science fiction film.
Nice. Okay.
Like some if it was on TV and stuff, some of that stuff. I don't go for the horror kind of stuff, but the like one of my favorites to rewatch is Battlestar Galactica, the reboot with Edward
The series
Olmos.
with Edward
The
James Olmos.
series,
Yeah, that's a
yes.
good one.
With what's going on right now in society, you might want to take a rewatch on that because they had definitely had a conversation about civilians versus military and when the military should be coming in and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There was a lot of
He was
discussions about
he
that.
was so good in that. Oh my
I
god.
and I loved when
I
EJO
love
is
he
him.
EJO is a bad dude though. I
Yeah,
oh
my
love
oh
him to death.
god.
he's
Amazing, amazing.
amazing as
Oh,
Adama. He but what I love is he gave an interview when they came to him, he's like, I don't want to do it. I'm not doing that stuff. And they were like, no, we really want you to do it. He finally decided to do it, but he said, if they started doing the monster of the week, he was out of there. I mean, the
I love it.
cast on that
Was
was
well,
is
yeah.
just really good. And I'm trying to
Yeah.
remember what um Rosalind's. I know I can see her. I can so totally see her. The cast, there was a lot of unknowns, a lot of people that people now know who they are and stuff, but it was a really good reboot. And
Mhm.
we had the technology for some of the space scenes and things like that. So that's it. Another one that I also love is The Expanse. If people like science fiction, you
That's a
need to
good
watch
one.
The
I'm mad.
Expanse.
I'm mad it got like not a lot of following. That was a good show
No,
too.
I started watching it when it was on Sci-Fi Channel and
Mm,
then moved over to Amazon when it got taken over to Amazon. But that one's really good, like
that
really,
was.
really good. A lot of
I agree.
politics involved in
Yeah.
it, humanitarian issues.
Hmm.
Like essentially, it's talking about like Earth and Mars, and then the satellites are all different entities and how they work with each other. But then there's also a murder mystery involved
Yeah.
and other things. And so it's also based on a series of books that I haven't read, but I've heard are really, really good.
Yeah,
I
I haven't
if
read them
you like
either.
science fiction, I highly, highly recommend that series that you should
Yeah.
watch it.
I
So
agree. I agree. I think it should have gotten more views. I think it ended too soon because I agree with that. It was well done. But see, that's
yeah,
why we have a movie podcast too, because
yeah.
we like movies
And
and
now that
shows.
we've been talking about this, my number one movie now that I usually go to is The Martian. I just stick that on.
Ah,
Turn it
okay.
on.
Yeah.
It's Matt Damon for an hour and a half,
Being himself
saving himself.
and just being Matt Damon. I don't think he was acting in that.
It's also like
I
Edie
really
Wong
don't.
is looking to Cheadle Edelworth and is like looking at the Indian guy was like, oh, we're doing this.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a round table
Oh
of 30
God.
minutes. This is
Yeah.
gonna be like, and he's like,
Seriously.
dude,
Uh,
shut up.
I don't think Matt was acting. I think they were like, "Go be you, Matt. We're just gonna film."
Or what's his name?
Oh, it was good.
Glover. Um,
Donald Glover.
Donald Glover when he pours the coffee in his Space baskets. There's just a lot of stuff. I also, to bring it back to the Lord of the Rings, when they have the conversation about if we're
See,
gonna have a secret meeting.
I watch them in order now. Now that the Hobbit, you know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
now
it
I
was
watch
the-
them in order. Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way,
I
there's
never-
there's a cartoon that came out in the 80s, guys. Also.
Yep. That's the
Listen,
reason why I
Oh
don't like
God,
the
I
Hobbit.
forgot about that.
Freaks
they were
me out as a kid.
yeah, those were pretty good actually for the animation of the
Yeah,
time.
they're not. They marketed them for like little kids, and at like 7 and 8, I was freaked out by that cartoon.
That's what I mean. You know what? Thank you, 80s and 90s, for creating cool movies for us.
The Last Unicorn was also extremely.
Love that movie too.
sad.
Oh, like I said,
Like,
yes. Oh, we're diving into our movie. We're diving into our movie podcast. But yes, I love The Last Unicorn.
This is why you should watch our episodes of the Roundtable movie podcast.
I love Black Cauldron, which Black Cauldron is another super dark film that Disney made that people forget about. That was a flop, but it's actually fantastic.
What did you
And
say?
now it's like some kind of classic.
Oh, I love Black Hole. That is an amazing movie.
Oh, Black Hole is great. I meant Black Cauldron. Sorry, Black Hole's good too.
Oh, yeah, both. But Black Hole, they marketed that as a Disney film, and that ain't no Disney film.
Black Cauldron was good
People
also.
are getting sucked out into space and killed by a psycho robot.
Yeah, and Black Cauldron had like really dark elements, like a dark Camelot. Really dark Camelot.
Very dark Camelot, yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
We went off the rails. We're sorry.
All right, Handy, what's your favorite movie on a rainy day?
Tina,
now that we've given 1,700 recommendations.
I love sci-fi, so it's like
I do too. Yeah.
Last but not least, sorry. Go ahead.
That was the first time I saw him. I soon knew there was something different about Andy Dufresne. Like he had on an invisible coat that would shield him from the place. I absolutely love The Shawshank. When it comes to adaptations of Stephen King movies, this one is in my top 10, my top 5. Just because I love the Morgan Freeman talk. Tim Robbins absolutely acted.
Andy, I think there's something wrong with your sound.
Yeah.
What? What's happening?
Okay,
Can you hear me?
You're fine.
Okay.
You sounded like a mosquito or a fly because it came through.
I don't know what's going on with it. I may have to get a new mic because it's happened for the last 2 or 3 shows.
Now you're perfectly clear, so go ahead.
But yeah, it's absolutely one of my. I think it is. This movie is in my top 10 of Stephen King adaptations of adaptations of Stephen King books, and I mean, I love Morgan Freeman. Tim Robbins absolutely acted his face off. Those two were perfect together. Even the fact that in the book, Red is actually a white Irishman with red hair, and then in the movie, it's like, yeah, my name is, I forgot what his name is. My name is Jonathan something Winston III. But they call me Red for some strange reason. Maybe because I'm Irish. Like it's the whole movie. I loved it, just the way, and it was, that one. And then my sci-fi go-to, although it's more of a gimmick because it was just huge for me at that time, is The Matrix, the first one. I mean, that
was a good one.
I just I mean,
it was.
They
were right. The 90s was the end of life.
I'm sorry. I almost said Morgan Freeman again. Lawrence Fishburne. I'm mixing up my black men today. I'm gonna say another movie, and it's gonna be. I'm gonna say Samuel L. Jackson was Samuel L. Jackson. Samuel L. Jackson was great in Friday After Next. Oh man, that was Chris Tucker, right?
That movie was right though. The 90s was like the peak. That was it.
I mean, there's so many like Galactica. I mean, there were so many different movies that you just.
I agree with you about the first Matrix. That was really good.
Way
for the time too. Oh my god, it was phenomenal.
The Matrix Well, what happens is once a generation, you
Yeah.
have a movie that comes along that sets a standard for everything that comes after. So in the 70s, Star Wars, hands down.
Yes.
And
Yes.
then
1000%.
Star Wars, hands down. And then
Yeah.
that kind of was a standard for a while. And then
Mm-hmm.
the Matrix came along, and then all of a sudden everybody was filming in bullet time. So yeah, and then what's the guy's name that did it?
Can I put one movie in the middle
What's that?
of that that tone for sci-fi? T2.
Oh God, yes,
Terminator 2.
absolutely.
And then
Robert
you know what I
Patrick
mean?
Robert Patrick as a
No, but I
T-1000.
mean what do you mean like sci-fi of like blow your like you know what I mean your socks off?
Yes.
Like
Just
I felt
liquid,
like
how they work. the
yeah,
liquid
exactly.
and
Like
all
I
of that.
felt like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? How we talk about generation, I would say I feel like in between, you're right. Star Wars set that bar in the 70s. For a while, the 80s, we had some good ones. We were like, all right. But then like
I would
T2
say
came
Steven
out.
Spielberg set the
Yeah,
stage for
like
like that science fiction.
yeah, like
Him and
T2
George Lucas together
for
were
sure.
working through the
Yeah,
industrial light and magic and all of that, and working
exactly.
with various
Oh
people.
man,
Yeah,
they
like
Then
if
T2.
if I
Terminator
looked up and
2.
I saw if I looked and I saw ILM, it's like I gotta see this. Even
Yeah.
if I don't get in the theater, I'm gonna rent it.
Yeah, yeah. And I feel
Yeah.
like that set the bar for like what we say about like computer graphics of the time and how cool he
And
made them look.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah. And then, then I
That
feel
was
like
that was where you started
and then
getting into
Matrix.
better
Yeah.
animatronics.
Yeah. But I
Mhm.
feel like when we're talking about like the computer graphics CGI, that was
Well-
like T2 set the bar. And
Yeah.
then yes, Anthony, then Matrix came in and just like knocked it out the park and just was like, whoa. Like
What is he?
What a lot of
What's
people don't
what's
realize
what's
is
Neil?
a lot of CGI was done in Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
There's
like,
quite a bit in there, so you
and
can
then
see it
which then set the stage for movies like Avatar.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's like, what is Neo doing? He's starting to believe.
Oh, so good. So many good lines.
We
yeah.
we I don't think it is. We failed the mission, Morpheus. No, we did not. How can you be so sure? We are still alive. God, love those movies, man.
That movie to this day like makes me think about like, are we in the Matrix?
Yeah.
Yes.
Honestly, yes.
Because
And Joey Pants, right?
I love Pantaleone.
What is it about this man who has never been really a lead actor? I wanted to think about this, right? He's never really been like, here's your A-list guy, but somehow
He's a phenomenal character
he
actor.
has been, yes, and through decades of our lives of movie watching.
Yeah.
Joey Pantaleone has been
Wasn't he the thief in Bad Boys?
That's
Yes, he was a police lieutenant.
Yeah,
he was
like
the chief. He was in Goonies as one of the sons. Do you see what I'm saying? Like I'm saying like Joey Pants, this is what a lot of people call him, has been in our lives as like a character actor
for 40 plus years.
Solid work. Anyway, sorry, I just because he was in the Matrix. That's what I mean. As the bad guy, like we're like, what? Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, that is definitely that's my go-to move is Shawshank Redemption. I haven't seen it in a while. I may actually watch it this weekend.
Yeah, we got to do another one. Sorry, we're gonna do a.
Yeah, we do. We have to do another. We have to do another one soon, and we got to try and schedule it. We got to try and schedule it on a day when Nick is free because I love having that guy on here. Nick, we know you had to work tonight, brother. We miss you. We love you, and we're looking forward to having you join and round out the quartet yet again. I think if all hearts and minds are clear, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for us this evening for this week's edition of come on, this thing won't scroll fast enough for this week's edition of there we go. This week's edition of the Roundtable. We appreciate you tuning in. if the great maker say so, we will be back again next week with more news and commentary. But until such time, I have been Mr. Fingers. That has been Tina Winter. And this right here has been Miss Delilah Crespo. We do appreciate you all tuning in, and we will see you next time. See you later.
Bye.
If the stream will end. Yeah.